Namaskar. Welcome to Prakash on Basics. I'm Prakash Zog. Last time I talked about the great Acharya Ramanujacharya. Today we look into the basics of his Vishishta Advait, qualified non-dualism, as it is sometimes mentioned. Uh, this is around 300 years after Shankaracharya, and at that time Advait philosophy had a strong hold on all the intellectuals. But Vaishnavism and Bhakti had also become equally dominant. Uh, so, in his Vedanta, we definitely find a Vaishnav bias. Uh, it's quite obvious. Lakshmi, Vaikuntha, Bhakti, all these are mentioned very often. Uh, Ramanujacharya highlighted the main objections to Advait and provided a solution that was within the grasp and achievability of common people. Some of these aspects I have already mentioned last time, but I think I should talk of them once more. First of all, Brahma is not nirguna, nirakar, anirvachaniya. That is attributeless, form independent, non interactive, uninvolved in anything. It's not like that. Secondly, Jeev, Jagat, and Brahma, the living, the non living, and Brahma itself are distinct from each other. There is what is known as Bhed between all three of them. There is no Advait as talked of by Shankaracharya. Then there is, according to him, there is no Maya. Uh, Also, Brahmajnan, knowledge of Brahma, is not the only way to moksha or salvation. And Brahma cannot have imperfections, which are seen in many of the creations that are around us. There was no place for Maya or Vivartavad. Uh, so, obviously, Ramanujacharya was a Satyavadi. Uh, as I said, Brahma is perfect, and Brahma is also Maya, cause of Maya, and Avidya. And so they are his parts, but both are imperfections, which is not possible if Brahma himself or itself is perfect. Remember the Mahavakyas? Mm, Aham Brahmasmi. That is, I am Brahma. This is a realization that has to come about. But then, before this realization comes in, uh, am I imperfect? And if I am Brahma, how can I be imperfect? And if I am Brahma himself, what is the necessity for this realization in the first place? If I am already perfect, I cannot be imperfect in the beginning. So there seem to be some contradictions or some conflicts in some of the ideas that Shankara had proposed, which were exploited to some extent by Ramanujacharya. And Going back to the great Bhagavad Gita, uh, if I am Brahma, then bhakti, that is devotion, this devotional aspect in Gita is meaningless, because bhakti yoga is a part and parcel of Gita. If bhakti is true, then Jiva and Brahma have to be separate. Uh, Ramanujacharya accepted the diversity and multiplicity in Jiva, Jagat, and Brahma. And within Brahma and Jiva and Jagat, there has to be some form of a genuine interaction. Uh, he also talked of them to be real. They can Jagan Mithya is an aspect that he did not accept at all. But though Jeev, Jagat, and Ishwar were distinct, in some cases and in some situations, they become indistinguishable from each other. So there is Advait in them. And so this is a special type of non dualism that Ramanujacharya talks of. He replaces Brahma, all told. This Brahma is Narayan himself, Saguna, Sakar, Ananta, Sarvaguna Sampanna. That means with attributes, having a definite form, infinite, and possessing all good qualities and good attributes that can be even thought of, and those even beyond it. Uh, Sakar is a form that we can understand. Maybe he has forms even beyond those. And according to him, Narayan is a caring, compassionate, involved entity, involved in the welfare and good of the lives and the universe that are his creation. Narayan is said to be Parabrahma, the controller absolute of everything. This Parabrahma present in everything is far more and beyond our imagination itself. Um, it is the one that brings about the cycle of creation, sustenance, and destruction of everything, the universe also. This is typically referred to as Utpatti, Sthiti, and Lay of the universe. He sometimes tends to use different words, uh, Jeev, Jagat, and Brahma, or Chit, Achit, and Narayana, the conscious individuals, the non sentient entities, matter, and everything else, and the absolute reality, that is Narayana. According to him, all these are definitely distinct and real. He emphasizes a concept that was mentioned in the Bruhadaranya Upanishad. And this is one of the core ideas that he has utilized further. It is known as the Sharir Shariri concept, according to which everything around, living and non living, forms the body of the immortal Lord, who is then the Atma. So the animate and the inanimate form the body of Narayana, the Atman. He is the controller of everything. He is aware of everything. He is far more than that also. And we've discussed Atma and its properties and so many other aspects long back. So how it is the part within us that is a witness to everything, but not directly involved in every activity that we do. So the Chit, Achit, Jad, Chetan, Jeev, all these differences and distinctions do exist, but they are still a part and parcel of the great Lord Narayana. It is their oneness with Narayan and still existing as a distinct body, which makes this the special non dualistic nature. Vishishta Advaita. Vishishta means special. Advaita is obviously non dualism. And the body of Narayana is capable of existing in subtle as well as gross conditions, far beyond the normal aspects that we know of. He transcends all. He has the highest level of superlative qualities that can exist within anything. Um, so, Nirguna Brahma is nothing but this Narayana, but he is Karuna Nidhi, a sea and a collection of compassion for all the living objects that are around, non living ones also. He is a personal God of Chit and Achit, uh, everything that is around. And this personal aspect was introduced to a very large extent at this time in Indian philosophy. Narayan is obviously Savishesh Sarvaguna Sampanna. Everything special that we can think of belongs to him. And then there is that other Mahavakya that we talked of. Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahman. So he is that. He is the ultimate knowledge. He is infinite. And he is the ultimate truth of everything. All uh, jivas and jagat are his prakar or different modes. He himself has swagata bhed, that is internal distinctions. But Shankaracharya obviously had the concept of no bhed, abhed state. Here, there is a distinction not only in Narayan himself and his attributes, but between the different jivas and everything else that is around. He also then talks of some special aspects. Uh, Narayan as Brahma, with all these attributes, uh, has to be experienced by the individuals. And how do we interact with him? So for that, Narayan is to be experienced in five different forms as Brahma. First is Parabrahma. And the Vaishnava bias is obvious. So he calls this Parabrahma as Vasudeva, the form of Krishna, as controller and protector of all, the inspiration behind everything. Gita is one example where his inspiration to Arjuna changed everything at the crucial point of Mahabharata. In the second form, uh, he is Vyuha, that is influential forms. Again, naturally, Vaishnav entities. He is Sankarshan, the giver of strengths. He is Pradyumna, the giver of wealth and royalty. And Aniruddha, capable of granting all boons. Then his other form that we realize is known as the third one is Vibhava, that is avatar. It's not that film. That has nothing to do with the true concept of what avatar is. Avatar is incarnation with specific purpose or an objective in mind, and his taking up a human form. What this avatar is and why it is has been clarified in Gita, and we are all aware of this great shloka, pair of shlokas. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata. Bharata here is not India, but one of the names of Arjuna. Abhyuthanam adharmasya tadatmanam srujamyaham. Whenever there is a setback to dharma and the rise of unrighteousness, I shall come forward. And the second part of it tells what he would do, what the avatar would do. Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkrutam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. To protect the good, to destroy the evil, not stop, destroy, destroy the evil, and to re-establish dharma. I shall arise in every age, in every yuga, as needed and when needed. So that's the avatar part. Then the fourth aspect is antaryami. Antar is inside, the one that resides within every individual, the one who is like a part and parcel twin along with our Atman, who knows everything. So many a times in many of the couplets it is always said, why do I have to tell you anything, O Lord? You know everything, you are within me, you are aware of everything that is happening. That is that antaryami form of Brahma or Narayan. And the fifth part, or the fifth form, is known as the Archavatar. Archana is, I talked of it when we discussed bhakti. Uh, Archana is the prayer symbol that is the symbol that is required for prayers or for Archana. Uh, it could be an idol, it could be a symbol, it could be a notation, it could be a sound form. Uh, it is uh, it is the alamban or the support that one needs to place and concentrate in front of him or her in order to think and concentrate on the Lord. And that is the Adhyavatar. So these are the five forms in which he manifests himself for all of us. Brahma and Narayan naturally is the cause of Utpatti, Sthiti and Lay, the cycle of creation, sustenance and termination of the universe and the living sentient beings within it. They are a part of him before and after, but they don't totally merge into Narayan, is what this part of philosophy says. According to this, uh, jivas undergo sankoch or contraction during pralay, and undergo vikas, that is expansion, during the growth cycle or development, or during utpatti, and progress during the intermediate span. Contraction and expansion, isn't that something same as the Big Bang theory that we talk of today? Everything starts from a speck, which is nothing but Narayana or Brahma, and then it expands. And then finally, there is also talked of what is known as the Big Crunch. So, our scientific views today are not really very different from many of the ideas that were put by these sages long back. Uh, but he talks of Vishishta Adwait. These are situations where the boundary and the distinctions between Jeev, Jagat, and Narayan or Brahma become fuzzy, become blurred. They tend to merge into each other. And so, Vishishta Advait. He gives a number of examples in the process. One of them that he talks of is uh, he talks of sun rays and sun. And uh, the sun is like the Narayan, and the sun rays are like the jivas that are there. Now, today, scientifically also, isn't that nothing but photons and electromagnetic radiation that we talk of? And isn't sun really the same? And isn't there what is known as wave particle duality, which is being the same as matter and waveforms or energy forms? So many of the ideas that he has talked of in his text known as the Vedanta Deep can be applied to situations in today's real life situations scientifically also. Um, he also talks of the basic requirements of every uh, Vedanta, or the concepts that are essential for them, pramanas, that is validations. He accepts uh, three of them as the major ones. Now, pratyaksha, that is perception by senses. He believes in. So this is how things can be validated. Um, we've discussed this in Pramanas some time back. I'm just reminding you of them. Anuman, that is inference by logic and reasoning. Uh, Yatra yatra dhumra, tatra tatra bandhi. Wherever there is smoke, there is fire, and things like so. So these are the inferences that we talk of. And Shabda Praman, verbal testimony. But here, when this particular branch of Vedanta talks of Shabda Praman, it includes Shruti, Smruti, that is the Vedas, and its related texts, the Puranas, the Smrutis, and the Agamas, and all Vaishnav literature that has been created. According to him, Anumana, that is inference, is less important than protection. And Shabda Praman, that is the references given in those uh, texts, including the Vedas, are to be believed to a larger extent than just inferences, because an individual may not have exact inferences that are taken out. Then, dominance of Vaishnav concepts is again quite true, because moksha is related uh, to Vaikuntha, the abode of Vishnu, and the source of all path to him goes with through Shri, that is Lakshmi, and the consort of Narayan. So it says that without the blessings of Shri. Shripati cannot be gained. Shripati is the husband and Shri is Lakshmi. So the path to his grace goes through her blessings. And then the salvation that he talks of, uh, moksha and mukti, uh, is by knowledge leading to satkarma, that is good deeds, along with steadfast devotion, achala bhakti. So all three of them, with bhakti dominating everything else, is more important. Uh, Bhakti is not, sorry, mukti is not merger with the Lord, as Advaita philosophy indirectly talks of as the culmination of moksha. Moksha is total realization of all knowledge according to Advaita. But here, uh, it is going or reaching Vaikuntha through proper behavior norms and through Achala Bhakti, that is steadfast devotion, and believing in Prapatti, that is, you are the only salvation for us and for me, is the concept that has to be steadfast in the mind of an individual. And then he would finally reach the abode of Vishnu. And that would be the moksha for him. He would, once he reaches there, or he or she, uh, there is an eternal place in Vaikuntha for the person, where he remains in utter bliss, constantly praying and remaining in the in Hari Bhakti, that is the devotion in Hari. And he is then free of all the remaining cycles of birth and death. He is free of this and remains there in the abode. Bhakti then is the path to moksha. And after moksha, what remains is again only Hari Bhakti, or your staying in his abode, always appreciating his great uh, aspects in every possible form. How does it happen? So, the suggestion given is that first you gain true knowledge of his greatness, which results into devotion, results into steadfast devotion, and then it results into salvation. You could think of so many examples. Uh, I'll just give one. Uh, let's say about 40 years, 35, 40 years back, I never had heard of Modi ji. I never knew about it. But then, as time passed and as things started developing in this particular century, we started getting knowledge. We started getting true knowledge about the capacities of this particular person. And that developed a lot of followers like me. And they are then said to be his bhaktas, or treating him as an ideal for many of us. And now it has become a steadfast path for us. See how things change. So that's exactly what you need to do about Narayana. This is just a life example that I am talking. But when this happens for Narayan, the great Lord, then you have nothing else to think of but him. And that's how knowledge leads to bhakti, leads to utter devotion. Uh, and obviously, it has to have some path. Um, in This form of philosophy, it is said that moksha uh, after death is acquiring a superior body, reaching Vaikuntha, and achieving eternal bliss in his bhakti, not coming back for the cycle of birth and death ever. So these are some of the major aspects that are talked of. But total surrender to the Lord is the only solution to everything, is what is talked of. Again, as I mentioned, this is uh, Vishistha Adwait. That means it talks of dualism and dual nature, but under special conditions, it is impossible to distinguish between the Lord and the individual or the material around us. You could think of so many different examples in our day-to-day lives even now. If even if it's if you talk of maths, it's like trying to say the set theory, which talks of uh, the superset, which is Narayan, and everything else, all others, including individuals, are subsets, which are a part and parcel of the superset, but they have their own distinct nature, but they have the same material. So they become something like the Vishistha Adwait that is talked of. So the set theory can be interpreted as nothing but what we were talking of just now. And why talk of only maths? Look at geography. Um, what is India? Is it the different states? Is it the different people? Is it the geographical nature of the Himalayas and the rivers and Ganga and the valleys and the forests and others and the coastlines? What is what is uh, what is India then? Is it? I stay in Maharashtra, so is Maharashtra India? But then am I not an Indian? So Maharashtra itself is also India, but it is a part of the greater India. So the people so if I go outside, do I not represent India? If I'm today, I'm sitting in Atlanta, uh, do I not represent my own country? So is there no connection between my country and myself and Maharashtra and myself? So there is then the way you look at the problem or the situation. So there is Dvaita, there is distinction, but there is also a unique bond or a replacement for each other. So this is what really Vishishta Advait is. This is the concept that was introduced by Ramanujacharya and many other things that he did, which we talked of last time. If you like whatever I have said, please like and subscribe to this channel. Read a little more about Vishishta Advait. See how it tries to simplify things and the relationships between Dvait and Advait and provides a mean path for everything. Uh, like and subscribe to this channel so that you'll know when I talk again. And this is not the only thing. There are some other aspects, a few of them. I'll talk of them also as time passes. Pass on this knowledge to others because that's the final objective of everything. There's no point in keeping knowledge with ourselves. We have to pass it on. So please do that also. Pass it on. Pass on knowledge to everybody else. Till we meet again for some other aspects of this Vedanta section. Till that time, Namaskar.